How do you actually help a swimmer achieve a high elbow position? Hi everyone, Andrew here, helping you help your swimmers get faster. Learning how to use the forearm in all strokes is key to creating a lot of propulsion. A coach recently asked me how to help swimmers learn to create a high elbow position, and that high elbow position is essentially one that allows swimmers to use the forearm to create a lot of propulsion. So that's the topic we're going to dive into today. So whenever I'm trying to solve a problem, particularly a difficult problem, I try to use as many strategies as possible to attack the problem from as many different perspectives and as many different angles as possible. Usually, a single trick isn't going to get the job done, but if I can try several different tricks and use them all in combination, the odds that swimmers figure it out are a lot better, and that's what we're looking for. So rather than picking one tool, or perhaps the best tool, I try to pick several different tools and use them all together. So that's exactly what we're going to do here. I'm going to show you several different strategies that you can use in combination to help swimmers learn to use the forearm more effectively, to create a high elbow position, and ultimately create more propulsion. So the first strategy is a sensory strategy. So I typically like to help swimmers feel the key skill as a starting point. If they can feel the key positions, if they can feel the basic idea of what the movement should be, they're going to be in a much better position to create change. So in the context of using the forearm for freestyle and butterfly, I really like wall pull. It helps them learn the position they need to create and the pressure they need to feel on the forearm. It's simple, it's error-proof, and it's a powerful way for them to feel what they're doing. For backstroke and breaststroke, I like side wall pull. It's the same basic idea, just a different position. It's a little bit more similar to what swimmers are going to feel when they pull in backstroke or breaststroke. So for swimmers who have no idea what they're supposed to feel or what they're supposed to do, these sensory drills can be a great starting point. They teach swimmers the position they need to be in, and they teach them how to create pressure in that position. Rather than telling them what needs to happen, we can help them feel what needs to happen. Next strategy is changing the hands. So with a basic understanding of how to position the forearm and how to use it to create pressure, we can now start the process of encouraging swimmers to use the forearm while they're actually swimming. In particular, upside down paddles and closed fist swimming are really helpful. Upside down paddles help swimmers learn to use the hand and the forearm together because of the locked wrist. They have to use the forearm if they want to use the hand. So if the hand's positioned backwards, the forearm is going to be positioned backwards as well. Closed fist swimming accomplishes the same goal in a slightly different way. By taking away the hands, swimmers have to use the forearm in order to create propulsion, in order to move forward. Combined with the wall pull exercises to help swimmers feel effective positions, changing the hand postures encourages swimmers to feel and figure out how to create those same positions while moving through the water. So those two strategies can be really useful for helping swimmers understand the basic principles, the basic concepts of how to use the forearm to create propulsion and how to get into a high elbow position. Next, we need to start using those strategies in specific strokes. So we need to figure out how to simplify the pull and provide swimmers with opportunities to learn simpler versions of the pull in the strokes so that they can start to figure out those key skills. So I like to use wall pull and the different hand postures in simplified drills that really help swimmers get a feel for effective pulling, effective arm actions in all the strokes. Simplified versions allow swimmers to focus on what they need to do. For freestyle, I like underwater recovery. We can take away the arm recovery so swimmers can focus on setting up good positions and pulling back. The timing is still the same as regular freestyle, so swimmers can figure out how to pull effectively and set up the stroke with the right timing without having to worry about the arm recoveries. For backstroke, I love side pull. Swimmers can easily position the arm backwards and use the whole forearm to create propulsion. They're in the right position from a rotation standpoint, and they don't have to worry about recovering the arms or working both arms at the same time. When they're first learning how to create pressure in backstroke, it's a perfect starting point. For breaststroke with dolphin kick is my favorite because swimmers don't have to worry about the kick. They don't have to worry about the timing. They can just focus on the pull. So I really like how swimmers can overload their arms without having to worry about the other components of the stroke. They can just focus on setting up the stroke well and really pulling effectively. For butterfly, power pulls are perfect. They can just set it up, pull straight back. They don't need to worry about the arm recoveries or the kick timing. They can just focus on using the forearms to create propulsion in the same positions they'll experience while swimming butterfly. Again, these are great introductory activities to help swimmers feel the key positions they need to achieve. They're a great launching pad for helping swimmers learn to execute these key skills, learning how to use the forearm to create propulsion while swimming full stroke. The next strategy I always use is ask for performance. So performing all the activities that we've discussed so far is going to be helpful in and of itself. However, if we really want change, we need to require it. And that's why I love stroke counts, and that's why I like combining stroke counts and speed and stroke rate and speed. Depending on the task you set for them, swimmers are going to have to swim differently and they'll have to find different solutions. They can't just do the same thing over and over again. And because you're using objective numbers with performance, they have to change. They either achieve the targets or they don't. And if they don't, they know they need to do something different. And fortunately, there's tons of different ways to challenge swimmers to create change. Use different drills, use different hand postures, and expect swimmers to swim differently by requiring them to achieve different performances. It makes a huge difference in terms of what they do and how they do it. The final strategy that can be really effective for helping swimmers learn to use their forearm and set up a great high elbow position is adding resistance. If you want to accelerate progress, add resistance. Ultimately, learning is driven by feedback. Resistance provides more feedback to swimmers and it helps them better feel what they're doing. It also encourages swimmers to create more propulsion. In order to move forwards and in order to accomplish their objectives, they need to create more propulsion in order to overcome the resistance that they're swimming against. Since we're already using activities that encourage swimmers to use the forearm more effectively, the resistance encourages swimmers to create even more propulsion using their forearm. Resistance is a great way to make anything you do even more effective. Keep it on the lighter side to start, and you'll create a manageable challenge to help swimmers become more aware of what they're doing and encourage them to do it better. So if you want swimmers to improve their ability to create a high elbow position and create more propulsion with the forearm, just use these strategies and use them in combination. Help them feel the right positions with sensory drills such as wall pull. Encourage them to change how they're interacting with the water by changing their hand postures. And they'll start to use the forearm to create more propulsion. Then simplify the pull to help swimmers lock in on key skills while swimming specific strokes. For backstroke, you can use side pull. For breaststroke, you can use breaststroke with dolphin kick. For freestyle, you can use underwater recoveries. And for butterfly, you can use power pulls. They all keep it simple so swimmers can figure out how to use the forearm effectively. Then ask for performance so swimmers are encouraged to change and they get feedback about how they're doing. And if you want to make the whole process more effective, add resistance to enhance feedback and encourage the creation of propulsion. I hope that was helpful, and as always, keep it simple.